Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome to yet another interesting video. If you're stopping by for the first time, please be sure to subscribe, like, share and comment on this video. Don't forget to press the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. We have a good time here. As you already see on the title, today I'm here to talk about basically, I just want to generalize everything and talk about some of the questions that you guys always ask me on the comment section. There's some certain questions that I feel like they keep repeating themselves and I want to at least tackle that on this video. The first question is the maximum age that somebody can come and work in Qatar. From which age can you come and work in Qatar? And something else is about disabilities. If you have any disability issue, can you work here, or any sickness? So I'm gonna tackle all that on this video, so make sure you watch this video till the end. Without wasting time, let's jump into this video. Come on over, let's pick up where we left off. I know some of you are very eager to know, especially with the Qatar Airways video that I've been posting recently. I keep seeing this question of, can I work in Qatar Airways if I am 35 and above, if I am 40 and above, if I am 28? Am I qualified to work with Qatar Airways, or just any job? I just see people randomly ask, or any type of jobs. And I also saw this question that somebody was asking, I have this disability and is it okay for me to apply for a job in Qatar? Will they consider me? Guys, one thing you have to know, if you have any disability, is totally normal. If you have any sickness, again, it's normal. It's not written on your face. Even us who work here, we have sickness. But then it depends which type of sickness. There's some sickness you cannot control. Let's say, for example, like asthmatic. And also it depends on how serious the sickness is. If the sickness is not that serious, then you can still work in this country. But I want to be very, very specific with this. With sickness, it's not all the sickness and diseases. You all know, for you to work in this country, you have to go through a medical checkup. And on that checkup, there are some certain diseases they are looking for. First, HIV. Second, if you have chest problems, like let's say tuberculosis, if you had tuberculosis before, or if you have it, and if you are pregnant, and what else, some other diseases which I'm not sure about, but the ones that I know and I'm sure about is if you have HIV, and if you have HIV, and if you have tuberculosis or pneumonia, something to do with your chest. The rest I'm not sure about. When they take out your blood, what are they looking for? But if you have cancer, or you have breathing problem, or it also depends on which company you are applying to. There are people who have cancer here, there are people who have blood pressure, there are people who have diabetes, there are people who have so many diseases. Being sick doesn't mean that they cannot hire you to work with them. But then again, it depends on how frequently that problem you have attacks you. Let's say, for example, you are struggling with asthma, and you know, with asthma, you have a breathing problem. So if they see that couple of times, maybe you're working as a waitress and you're serving food, and then you all of a sudden just, collapse, then it will be an issue. So maybe they will consider putting you somewhere else. If it's a good company, they might consider putting you in a different position. Like maybe if you're a waitress, they might put you as a reception, or somewhere maybe you can sit. I've seen that. I've worked somewhere and there was a sick person and they had to give her a different position, at least somewhere she's at peace. This country is very good, by the way. And also there are some people who are struggling with diabetics, and if you can control your sickness, you know how to manage your sickness, they have no problem hiring you at all. And at the end of the day, you don't write on your CV, I have this problem, and I cannot do this because I have this problem. But also it's so good to inform the company, like, okay, if you put me in the kitchen, I have this kind of blah 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 blah, so for them to see if they can hire you. But then if you review such issues with your health on your interview, definitely you'll give them a room to think about it, like if they want to hire you. But if it's just something that they will get used to it or get to know later when they are working with you, then that's different, because these are some of the things that they can't see when you go for a medical. No, they don't see it. They can't even trace if you have this kind of diseases. But if you have HIV and if you have tuberculosis, then automatically that's a government thing, because for you to get a resident permit in this country, you have to go through the medical checkups and everything. But for company individually, there are people who have cancer. I've worked with people who have cancer. As long as you're doing your job well and you're not having any issues, they have no problem. They can still hire you guys. And something else is disability. There are these people who have maybe hand problem, maybe, you know, they can't walk, they can't do certain things. We have to support these people. We have to. That's something I'm so amazed with in this country. Like, they consider these people. So if you have any disabilities, doesn't mean that they won't hire you. Some companies, they don't mind, because let's say, for example, if you are a security and maybe you have some disability, most of the security guys, people always despise this job, like being a security is like, you know, it's not a good job. But these people, like, their job is the most easier and relaxing job. Do you know, like most of the security just sit down just like that, they don't do anything. So I've seen people who have disabilities and they're working as security, they're working in somewhere like maybe in an office just sitting down. So just know you have a chance to work in this country if you have any disability. It just depends on what kind of disability, and if you can explain to the company and just tell them I've worked in different companies and they didn't have a problem with my disability, so they can be okay to hire you. But with Qatar Airways, they have their own rules, so it can be tricky. But it doesn't mean that they don't consider people with disability. Disabilities, you can work in this country. Something else is about the age. So with age, it also depends with a company. I've seen this question people asking with Qatar Airways. Oh, I'm 19 years old. Can I apply for Qatar Airways? You can't. Qatar Airways is a government company. Mind you, there are some government companies in this country and there are some private companies. Some of the private companies, I've worked with somebody before who was 19 years. I remember that girl was 19 years. So if it's a private company, then you can. For you to get a resident permit, you must be 18 and above. So from 18 you can work, but also it depends on which company. I've worked with somebody who was 19 years old, like she turned 20 when I was working with her. But with Qatar Airways, you have to be from 21 and above. And even if you are 40, or if you are what age, if you are 25, 26, 30, 40, you can still work with Qatar Airways. I know you'll also want to know if you're 60 years old and above, can you still work in this country? With some companies, yeah, you can work if you are 40 years and above. I mean, for some companies, yes, you can work if you are 50 years and above. But some companies, especially government company, it will be tricky for you guys. So just know if you are on from 18 years and up to, just know if you're from 18 years up to 60, you still stand a chance to work in this country. But it also depends on which company. Is it a government company which is very strict, or it's now, you know, a corporate, or like just a private company? So I hope I've answered some of your question, guys. For those of you who always ask me, especially regarding Qatar Airways jobs, if you can work there, if you are from 35 and above, and etc etc, yes, you can. It's just depend. With the sickness, like I told you, certain sickness you can't, they are very specific. And with disability also, it depends on which company you're going to work with. Anyway guys, I hope I've answered some of your burning question, and if you have more, kindly put them on the comment section. I'll definitely go through them. I hope to see you on my next